How to do, my friends? Didn't realize the camera had come on. Still sitting there all posing and getting ready to get started. But you know, today is such a different day. Thank God. I'm saying, what a day yesterday was. My goodness, and the day before. And I'm sure you've had days like this when you feel like, wow, the skies are falling. The skies are falling. And so was yesterday for me, and today is so much better. And I'm incredibly happy. Hey there, Jane, my friend. Love seeing you. So today, this morning, I actually woke up feeling so much better, knowing that heavy sense of failing was lifted. And I started singing and being my crazy self again yesterday afternoon after I discovered how things are going to work out. And why am I talking about this today? Well, it's simply this, that life is filled with vicissitudes. There are up days and there are down days. And we have to be very careful about how we allow those down days to influence our entire day. See, yesterday I had to really force my mind to be grateful and to focus on the things that were important for me and the things that were great that day, because that one thing wanted to dominate. And thank goodness I was able to survive it. So today, it feels good. But what I want to talk with you especially about on this conversation about the day after is just how things turn out. Because see, this one event that happened to me is a cycle of event that may happen to you or other people. That's just the way life is. And so, as you know, I have my book that I am doing a pre-launch for. And so I got ready. This is why this whole website thing started. And I just was feeling heavy about the whole site, that the website wasn't working. People would be going there. They'll be expecting me to notify them. I want to be true to my word, because if I say I'm going to notify you and you go there and you don't get notified, it's a bad reflection. At least that was my take on it. So I know how important integrity is, and it's very important for me to operate in integrity. And people would not necessarily know that the site was broken. I could put something out on my page, which I would have eventually done, but I would not have known who attempted to sign up. So as I got started with this journey of this pre-launch, it was another big thing for me. What do you have in your life right now that is really big for you? That you feel like you have never done it before and you become anxious about it because you really want the whole steps to work out pretty good. Well, this was the pre-launch for me. I've never done a pre-launch before. And so what I did is I decided I'm going to go ahead and research. I'm going to ask people. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to watch video. I'm going to buy a few books to see exactly how the whole process works. And so my mind was filled with all this research stuff. And I felt like my head was doing this. And where do I start, right? It's really easy for you to get into a bind and to be frozen when you feel like you don't have a place to start. And where a lot of us go is we try to look way down the road to see how every step is going to be. Well, I tried to do that. And all I did was get more and more confused. And what I had to do to overcome that is to take that first step. And that first step meant for me creating that website. That was step one. Of course, writing the book was step one, but creating that website. And then I got there and it was like, okay, we have a roadblock here. And not allowing myself to become unglued was the right thing that got me past there. So now, once I got past there, there is another hurdle. But there's also another opportunity. Are you sitting, waiting for the whole universe to open up to you to show you what you need to do next before you take that step? Take the step. Now that I've taken the step, amazing things start happening. What I notice is simply this, that now it's like ideas keep popping in my head. See, the divine is so wonderful and so marvelous, because if those ideas all came popping in at one time, which sometimes they do, I will become completely overwhelmed, right? I couldn't write fast enough to capture all of them. But the minute I took step 1, step 2 opened up. And then step 3 opened up. And so now I have amazing ideas that I had to grab my cell phone and start speaking into the cell phone those ideas that popped up for me. Because if I don't speak them into the phone, what's going to happen is they're going to disappear. So I have 2 things. I have my little red book here that I keep with me to keep my mind free so I don't have to try to remember stuff. So if I can't speak into the phone, I'll write it down as quickly as I can. And then I have my cell phone. I put a voice recorder on it. And so when those ideas pop in, I start speaking into the phone so that I can capture those moments. So when I go back, I can execute them. So I see those love bubbles. Hey there, Jackie, thanks for joining me. So it's really important that we understand the process. And my conversation today is really not going to be a very lengthy one. I just wanted to give you a little feedback that the day after all the dust have settled is usually lighter and better. But to get there, you have to first appreciate what you have gone through. Because you see, those circumstances and those challenges in life are what creates us. They are what create us. I'll say that again. The circumstances, the challenges in life are what create us. See, people sometimes say stuff to me like, oh my goodness, you are so wise, or wow, how'd you think of that? Let me tell you something. I've got the battle scars. The battle scars. And at the moment when I was going through those journeys, they didn't seem pleasant. But having endured, I've got all of that experience that they've all shaped me to be who I am today. And so even though those moments were not delightful as I was going through it, these are the moments that really shape you to be powerful, shape you to be an influence in other people's lives, because those experiences are not just for you. They are for the people in your life. So the day after, you can take those experiences and enrich someone's life with it. Isn't that so beautiful? That's just the way it works. So as I leave you today on my very brief life cast, I want you to keep a couple of things in mind. Number 1 is when the challenges come, rise above them. Let me tell you, I know those feelings. It's heavy. It's heavy. You almost feel like it's heavier than you. And if you can't rise above it, just start programming in your mind those things that you can be very thankful for, those things you can be grateful for. Pick up the phone and talk to someone who you feel is down and encourage them. Don't stay there. Don't talk about the challenges and the struggles you're going through, because that just creates more of that for you. And then once you've gone through that, just understand that those challenges are intended to make you to be a greater person in your life, a more powerful person in your life, a light and a beacon for someone who is coming behind you who may be going through those same challenges. And so the day after, use those experiences to enrich other people's lives. It could be on a live cast if you're not a live cast person, because not everybody can get up and do this to start. I believe everybody can if you just throw yourself out there. And you should. And if you choose not to, there are other people in your vicinity, other people in your synagogue, in your congregation, wherever you go or hang out, your workplace, in your home, that you can be an influence for, using those experiences that you felt you were battered by, but really which actually shaped you to be the person you are. So I see Jackie says, yes, I need that now, that day now. I get that. Yes. Yes. And so let us all take this inspiration and let us shape our lives and let us do something different. As the holiday season approaches, many of us, some of you probably don't celebrate Christmas. I've stopped. Just knowing the whole history of it, but really, you know, it's a period of life where we can participate in the joyousness of the moment and just to be cheerful and to take that same exact spirit of cheerfulness with us for the other 364 days. It's not one day of the year. It's not. So let's do that and let's make an influence and a difference in people's lives. And you know what? If you have something that you need to get started with, just start. Love you guys. This is Dr. Wen, empowering lives to live purposefully.